Hi, Jordan here again, back in Denver. I hope you're doing well. I thought I would make a little correction about something I said last time, which I was talking about the Jeeps having big stripes and big letters and stuff in the 1970s, and that's kind of true, but I realized not exactly true of the Wagoneer. There were other vehicles that were based on the same platform, which was called an FSJ, full-size Jeep, and they were kind of similar. They had a really similar body style. One of them was the truck, which was, hey, there's somebody here. Let's see.
Hi.
How you doing? Having a good day?
California all the way to Florida. What's up?
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Are you from California?
No, I'm actually from Denver.
Oh, are you? Cool. Where are you going now?
Right now, I go pick up my bike.
Okay, cool. Have fun.
Yep. Keep the exercise up.
Yeah.
Like jazzercise.
What's your name?
Manual.
Manuel. I'm Jordan. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Keep it fist pumping, brother.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
So, where was I? I guess I was talking about these full-size Jeeps, and there was a truck which was had like the same sort of front end. It had different names. I don't know the sort of years. I think it kind of depended too. Some of them were more functional and some were more sporty. There was like, I think, a J10, which was like a postal vehicle or something. And then there was, or maybe military. And then there was a Golden Eagle, I remember, was like a special edition, and a Honcho and a Gladiator. And so that was the truck sort of series based on that platform. And then there was a two-door vehicle that was made with the same kind of body style that was marketed as a Cherokee. And as you might be aware, that name then was kind of rebranded into a smaller four-door Jeep later on. So another thing that I kind of felt like bringing up is the financial situation that AMC was in the mid to late 1980s. As I understand it, they were having trouble, and Renault was a major investor in the company, and they were talking about that they were going to have to remove their investment, withdraw it from the company, which might very well put the company into bankruptcy. So that's what they were facing, and there were fears at that time that if somebody bought a Jeep, they might not be able to take it into the dealership. A short time after that, there might not be parts produced anymore. People were concerned that they might just close their doors and all the jobs would be lost and stuff. I remember some people actually buying Jeeps for that reason, because they wanted to support the company, and other people being afraid to buy one because they didn't know what was going to happen with it. So it was kind of a little bit of a saving sort of quality that Chrysler put a big investment into AMC and ended up kind of folding it into the Chrysler family and made Jeep a division of Chrysler. Well, if you don't mind, I'll return to the story of my having the Jeep in Denver and how that went. As I was talking about last time, I had done quite a bit of work on it, had it in the shop a lot. It turned out to not be that big of a deal, because as it happened, it was pretty easy for me to get from my house to my office with public transportation. Much to my surprise, it was pretty good. I was able to come downtown here fairly easily. I can even walk downtown from my house, and then from here I could take a regional bus out to where I could walk to the office. So I just had to leave in plenty of time, but it was a nice, enjoyable walk and bus ride. And then I was able to have the Jeep in a shop a lot. It wasn't a problem. And during that time too, there was some news stories started surfacing about a virus going around in China that was concerning, and it seemed just a little bit sort of surreal at the time. But then there were some people who got sick in a mountain town in Colorado. I think maybe it was Vail, where some Chinese tourists had been there and got the waitstaff infected, and then they got some other townspeople sick, and next thing you knew, there was like COVID was spreading around Colorado really early on. It was kind of scary, and the state government started locking down things pretty quickly, more quickly than a lot of the rest of the country. And luckily, in my situation, I had been able to work from home because on weekends I was supposed to work and the office was closed. So I was set up to be able to work from home on weekends, and then they just had me stay home most of the time for a while till we could see how it went from there. And a little later I did start going in the office a couple days a week, but it was pretty mellow. It wasn't too bad to not have the Jeep. And there were times when I had it, I was able to drive it into work, and even a couple times able to use it in the snow as I had originally intended. And I showed pictures of that last time. It was a little bit strange with the COVID situation too. It caused me to kind of rethink things. I think that probably was true for a lot of people. And one of the things that I noticed was that it was a difficult time for musicians. They couldn't give concerts the way that they normally could, and they were having financial hard times, as I understand it. And it gave me a new concern for a duo that I'd always really liked in Austria named Sigurd and Marina. I'd been a fan of theirs for like 15 years, but just hardly ever got to Europe. I think maybe once every a decade or something I was getting there, and usually then I had some other reason why I was going. I didn't really kind of get over to watch a concert of theirs, and it occurred to me, it's like, wow, it's like a bucket list thing. I need at some point in my life to actually go and see them, not just one day off in the future, but as soon as I can. So around that time there was some kind of special that United Airlines had about tickets would be refundable if they were purchased in a certain period of time, or they were changeable or something like that. So I went in and bought tickets for the following summer and made sure I had my passport and everything and was planning to go, and kept working on the car. That's when I took it in to get the frame measured, and I also worked on the sunroof quite a bit. It was turned out to be a really difficult thing with the sunroof. Didn't seem to me like it'd be that big of a deal, but nobody would touch it. The classic car people thought it was a Jeep, and they didn't like it for that reason, and didn't really know that much about it, and parts hadn't been made for it in decades, and the Jeep guys related to it as a classic car, Wagoneer, that wasn't really like a mountaineering four-wheeler that they would normally want to work on something like that. And so I looked at it myself to see if there was anything I could do, and yeah, it would be really tough. I mean, it would take at least one person on each corner to be able to pull it out of there, and then there'd just be this big hole in the roof. And I didn't have any experience working with a sunroof. I didn't know what to do with it once I got it out. I didn't have access to parts either. There was one place in Tampa that was supposed to have some of those older parts, and I called him, and he said he didn't have them anymore. He discontinued them because they were so hard to get and stuff. And so there I was, I just ended up leaving it closed. There was one Mopar shop, I just remembered, that like a classic Chrysler repair place that did get they took a look at it, which was nice of them, and they were able to get the drains flushed, so that helped a little bit. But yeah, it just kind of stayed the way it was. And then when that summer came up, everything was locked down. Europe wouldn't let American tourists in, and the flights were canceled. A friend of mine had the same thing happen to her, and we were talking about that, and we got to thinking, well, in the conversation, it was like, well, maybe we could take a road trip in the Jeep somewhere or something like that. And so we started talking about maybe we could do something like that, and I think that's a good segue to a future video, and I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you there. Take care.